Our final presentation for today is Eagle County Climate Equity Plan, and we have Maddie from the Walking Mountains group. She loves mountain biking and taking spontaneous trips, and I'm going to put her on the spot. Where was your last trip?
I wish. It was actually Kansas.
Great. And a show of hands, did anyone take that morning mountain bike ride this morning? Hey, we got one. Awesome. What? Sorry? Did anyone take the morning mountain bike ride? Because Maddie loves mountain biking. We had one. Got it. Okay. Well, Maddie, take it away.
Well, thank you all for still being here. I know it's the end of the day, but yes, my name is Maddie Ponce, and I am a sustainability programs coordinator at Walking Mountains, and I'm here presenting on the Eagle County Climate Equity Plan. Sorry. Will it switch on? There we go. Okay. Cool. So Walking Mountains is a nonprofit for environmental education, in which we help connect people with nature and empower them to protect it. And under Walking Mountains, we also facilitate and administer the Climate Action Collaborative, which is made up of local governments and entities tasked to implement the recommendations of the Climate Action Plan. So Walking Mountains was awarded this grant from the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment in their Environmental Justice Program to create a community-driven and great engagement plan to increase the Latino involvement in our current Climate Action Plan. Okay, so we also increase the knowledge and understanding of climate change impacts and develop strategies to reduce these impacts in the Latino community. So how do we ensure that everyone has, that climate action is equitable? It can be very challenging to get everyone's voices heard, especially those that are most affected by the effects of climate change. In Eagle County, currently, 30% of the year-round residents and over 50% of the school enrollment is Latino. I myself grew up in Eagle County. I witnessed the lack of engagement with local initiatives and just kind of Spanish availability. Over time, this has definitely gotten much better. There has been more resources, translation, and Latino-specific organizations. This could always improve, of course. So this plan is the beginning to assess what our community knows, has access to, and what they want and need to participate in sustainability actions. The gap in resources and engagement is what led us to apply for this grant and start a journey. So this is our goal, to connect with the Latino community. And the best way to start with that relationship is boots on the ground, face to face, so people know who they're talking to, that there's someone else behind. We partnered with a lot of organizations that have already had a deep connection with the Latino community for years. We tabled at Spanish First events and started getting that recognition. From there, we started hosting our education sessions. We would educate while being educated, so teaching more about waste and energy programs. We dove deeper, so we taught people kind of what our rebates were, giving out recycling guides. And from there, we would always go to them, go to their communities. We would do evenings, provide food, childcare, and some sort of incentive for people being there. We always hosted Spanish First, all our material. It seemed to work better than bilingual for some reason, but yes. We would sometimes partner with these different organizations. It would always be free From there, we started creating a WhatsApp group when we got enough people. We had a website and all with cultural relevant items. Spring of 2024, we started sharing out our survey, which went into the sector areas from the Climate Action Plan, which was waste, buildings and energy, transportation, and water. So from there, we saw kind of what services they had, behaviors, and kind of comparing English to Spanish households. There was an anonymous survey. It was an anonymous survey. And from there, we had a second part that was an optional focus group. So if people wanted to participate in that. And we dove deeper into the questions from the survey. We had 2 targeted areas, the east and the west of Eagle County. And same kind of like the education sessions, we had rewards. It was it was in the evening. We had food, childcare, and incentives as well. It was in Spanish first with energy interpretation available, but of course we had very few English participants. So this is kind of an example from our survey. From housing and energy, we had respondents who always or sometimes use money to pay their bills that could have been for other needs like food or medication. So the blue is the English language and the green is Spanish, so 37% to 72%. And some more examples. From there, we saw the biggest disparity, which was housing and income, of course. We saw that 60% of the English speakers made 80% or more, which is 60% of the AMI for a family of 4. And yes, compared to it's kind of 9% of English. And yes, we have this really good quote that says, "My landlord will not allow energy saving modifications. They're not interested in updating any rentals to be more efficient." And this comes from our kind of at least 20% more of the Spanish speakers were renters. And that's of course hard because sometimes, yes, landlords can be hard, or you don't want to spend this time and energy on a place that you don't want to be at for very long. Okay. From there, we got more key challenges, and this is just some examples. We have more listed in our climate equity plan. But in addition to, yes, the income and housing, we also saw like waste, for example. The recycling is expensive and inaccessible for some, especially in high density, so that would be apartments instead of like curbside. So from the key challenges, we got action items and that are listed in our climate equity plan. We started creating these to address the challenges. Each strategy includes a program, policy, and process recommendation. And we have identified partners we believe that would be a good fit for implementing these strategies. For example, our energy and buildings. We want to improve our energy efficiency program to low and middle income residents. That, of course, would be sharing more of our rebates, having them sign up for these low-cost fixes. And our waste is another big one that we're working on. We want to improve the waste diversion and education. We currently have this EPA grant that's exactly what we're doing. So we're sharing out, we're giving out free recycling toters to these communities. And of course, educating on how to recycle in our specific community. So, of course, this is just the beginning. These are just the steps to start connecting more, collaborating with partners, and implement the recommendations. We've kind of just started. There's still so much more to get our Latino community to come to look at this climate action plan. And to read more, you can download the Climate Equity Plan, which is available in English and Spanish. So please read more.
Thank you, Maddie. Does anyone have any questions? Eve?
You mentioned a WhatsApp group. I'm curious how you used that.
Yes, so Spanish only. We have about 50 people, but it's a good way to share like events that are going on from us and our partners. If there's also like a program is opening up that could be beneficial, that's a good way to like tell your neighbors. A lot of these people are, it's just such a connected community that it's like word of mouth is a great way to share it.
Follow up on that. Is it typically one-way communication through that WhatsApp, or does anyone respond and create conversations?
Yes, it's one way. I could not imagine what an open chat would look.
Yeah.
We have not. We really want to start because, I mean, yeah, getting like someone to, like a professional to give them ideas, because yeah, that's a really good point of getting them help.
Victoria?
I'm curious what would be beneficial to them.
Yes, we kind of introduced them at the beginning, kind of saying that like we have an action plan and that's where they came from. And like a lot of them take transportation or just like something like water, so they could kind of like give us all their thoughts.
Any other questions for Maddie? Yep.
I'm a big fan of energy. Sorry to the waste team, but I don't know, just learning more about like heat pumps and just how efficient they are, and like cooling is now available like in 2-in-1 system, because in Eagle County you didn't used to need cooling. So always talking about energy to them, like induction stoves is, I'll keep talking about them. Yeah, so with this, we started a Fiesta de Sostenibilidad, which is like a sustainability festival hosted at Walking Mountains. And this last time in April, we had music, free food, and just various partners from Eagle County that are also within sustainability. Free to attend. It was like noon, and we had a bouncy castle for the kids. So yeah,
And
we've kind
adults.
of just been doing stuff like that. And yes, a lot of energy and waste talk, of course. Yes, I don't remember really speaking English. I mean, yes, like all of these mountain communities have like some sort of employees that are probably from a low income, like, yeah. So hoping that when these communities start working on their climate action plan to start taking into account for the rest that's not really heard, instead of doing like a separate thing later on. Yes, I hope that answered somewhat your question.
And definitely encourage everyone to scan the QR code to see Maddie's climate equity plan. Any other questions? Oh, one more.
Yes, if you go to our walkingmountains.org and under our sustainability hub and climate action, it'll be under our plans.
Well, thank you so much for attending the first Solutions Lab. Give it up for Maddie one more time. So we do have about 10 more minutes for this session, and you'll see there's white tables throughout the room. Each of the presenting groups are going to be standing at their tables, so if you have more questions for them, and I realize both of you have questions for Kara, but you are also standing at your table. So,